What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing okay out there. It's kind of chilly here right now in Orlando. I think the high today is going to be like 65 or something. So that's not good for us. You're probably tired of me whining about how chilly it is here, huh? You guys are freezing your butts off wherever you're at, probably. So hey, let's leave that behind. I'm sorry. Today is Sunday, the 21st of March, and this is SITREP 62. So let's get right into this. So first things first, God. We keep it simple today. I just went to church this morning. I got rejuvenated, so that was good. Lots going on with the house. So let me catch you up to speed on this gate thing. So my neighbor on this side, the right side of my house, he decided to change his old wooden beat-up fence with white vinyl. It looked great. He had a wooden fence before, a wooden gate. So did I. Now he changed over to white vinyl, so to keep up with the Joneses and to make it look right, because I had an old beat-up gate, right? I could change my gate over to vinyl as well. You would think that would not be a problem, but check out this video. So all this company had to do is come in here and put the gate up the same way that it was. It used to be attached to posts just like this, and it swung that way, right? So it swung out and sat against his fence. Well, look what they did. So they put it the exact opposite of the way it used to hang, and now it's landscaping. Not only that, but the old fence that my neighbor had up, the wooden fence, we didn't realize it till they came to measure my gate, that his fence was like 6 inches on my property. See this? That's where his old post was. So, I mean, honestly, excuse me, honestly, I don't care. But for resale value, if we ever decide to sell this place, or Galen decides to sell it, the new owner isn't going to want to deal with the neighbor's fence being on your property. So now, of course, all this was discovered after I did my landscaping, because remember I put a huge 75-foot French drain in here, because this whole area here was all washing out, because the property slopes down that way, right? So, yeah. So now I'm going to put down the anti-weed barrier, and fix all this, just because his original fence guys can't measure. By the way, they're supposed to be out this morning to fix this. Early this morning is what I was told. Yeah, so you can see obviously they didn't make it out. Unreal. So there it is, guys. Pretty much was able to cover up the gap that was made by moving the fence over. And yeah, so things back to quasi-normal. Whew! Yeah, baby. So I just got off the phone with Fence Outlet, the guys that installed my fence gate. And this is the guy that told me that the installation guys would be out first thing this morning to fix my gate before they went out and did all their other installations. But apparently the install guy crew hasn't even stopped in or made contact with him yet today. And right now it's after 11 o'clock in the morning, and he's not returning his calls either. So, yeah. So apparently he's got a service technician who is right now woefully engaged because his installation crew isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So he's going to call me back this afternoon to see if he can get this his service tech out here to fix my gate. So. Wow. No rest for the weary, man. So I'll keep you guys up to date. Bye. So an update to the update. So that video was done last week before SITREP 61. But SITREP 61 got so long that I decided it's probably better off to not include it in that video. And besides, I haven't got resolution on the issue yet. And you know what? I still don't. So after that video, the sales guy called me and asked me to send him a picture of the gate. Now, I'd already sent one to his manager, but I'm like, okay, whatever. I sent him the picture, same picture. And he said he was going to talk to his manager and work out when to get this thing fixed. That was, I think, this past Tuesday. And I still haven't heard from him. I still do not know when this gate's going to get fixed. So I don't know what is up with these guys. We'll talk about it in SITREP 63, I guess. I don't know. It's sad though. I don't know what to say about that. Critter cam. Not much going on with the critters this week either. We got here. We got the Tres Amigos. I didn't know. Usually, I think it's only like the mom and babies, or just a pack of babies that travel in a pack like that. When you have more than 2 raccoons, that's usually the case, right? But I can't tell by looking at this if they're all babies or not. They look a little bit bigger, right? So I don't know if one of them is smaller, or I can't tell what's going on there, to be honest with you. Health-wise, been quite a bit going on with my health. Not super bad, but. So as you know, I was on amoxicillin. They're really, really big pills. We went over how to cut those. Well, one day I had a little bit of difficulty getting one down, and I felt like I was going to choke on it, which kind of freaked me out, right? The next day, I had this thing in my throat for probably 30 seconds, and it was right, if you can imagine it being hung up right at my windpipe. So I had to take, obviously, several breaths while this thing is happening to me. And I was just short of panicking. I mean, it was freaking me out pretty good. Finally, I was able to get it up, and when I finally spit it out, there was blood on it. So if you noticed in last week's video how sharp some of those corners were, apparently I have some inflammation or whatever in the back of my throat. That didn't need sharp edges near it, so that's how I imagine where the blood came from. So now I'm down to crushing pills. Well, actually, now I'm done with amoxicillin. I'm not doing anything with pills. But this is a pill crusher right here. And basically all it is just screw this cap off. And you can see the angle on it. Can you see that? And the bottom has the exact same angle, and there's no space in there. So when you put a pill in there and you drop this bugger on it and crank it down, once it makes contact with the pill, you just give it a little, like a 64th of a turn, and it completely crushes the pill. It's pretty awesome. If you want it in powder form, you have to like unscrew it, mess around the inside a little bit more, screw it back down, do that a couple of times, get a complete powder. But I'll tell you, that thing is pretty effective. And it even has, I found this out yesterday, has a little pill storage thing. I guess that's what that's for. Will do. Medical marijuana. I've done the whole process. I am waiting to hear back from the state. They have to. So apparently they subcontract a company out to process the payment, but the payment eventually goes to the Florida Department of Health. So in that regard, it's above board, right? But I have to tell you. Oh, one last thing on payment. So the end cost was with veteran discount. It wasn't. I think I said it was $185 before. It's only $129 for the doctor visit. 129, and there was 75 for the state fee. So you're talking just over $200. But the rest of the process, I have to tell you, is pretty hokey. I mean, even going to the doctor's office, it's like guaranteed to get your medical marijuana card. This is exactly why states don't want to give in to this, because they know people are going to abuse it. So basically, at least here in Florida, and by the way, they didn't even ask for my medical documentation. And the doctor was almost leading me. I mean, he was like, yeah, do you have back pain? Do you have anxiety? And those are two things that can't be proven. So I do say, yeah, that's what I got, doc, and boom, you get your card. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's kind of sad, really, because, I mean, I think the biggest constituents, the biggest happy end users of marijuana is like kids that have autism and stuff, So you got these knuckleheads out here that want to smoke dope legally. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, I should hear back from that whole process by the end of this coming week, I think. I already looked at the dispensaries, so they're kind of hidden in the population, because obviously, if you pay online, I think you can process the payment with a card. So you can pay online. You can actually have it delivered, your medical marijuana. But if you go there in person, I think you have to pay cash. And the options for marijuana are crazy. I mean, you can vape it. They have their own atomizers that have their marijuana already liquidized and in it. And once the vaporizer is done, that's it. You just throw it away and you buy another one. They're like $60, $75, something like that. And you get like 100 something doses out of this thing. I think I'm allocated, on top of that, I'm allocated like an ounce and a half of weed of medical marijuana. We're not talking like, the Mexican that people used to buy back in the 70s, crappy marijuana. This stuff is laced with, like, you can see like crystals in this stuff, and the buds, and they're all buds. I mean, this stuff is high grade. I'm kind of intimidated because I don't want to get high from it. There's only two, and apparently there's like 113 or 114. Can't remember what they call them, but only two are legalized. THC of all things, because that's a primary ingredient that helps these kids with autism apparently, and CBD, which everybody's heard of CBD oils, right? Well, that's where that comes from. So it's THC and CBD out of 113. I'm going to call them enzymes because I don't know the actual name of it, but yeah, 113 of those things, only two. They only sell two. So yeah, there's that. There's these things called waxes. They have these like heated, like bongs, where you take this paste, this marijuana paste, and you put it on this little ceramic dish in this bong, and you hit the button. It's like a vape pen though. It heats up, and it turns to smoke, and you inhale that. There's this hash that you put in food. There's other liquid drops you can put on your tongue. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's just, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, it's just so.
I just want something for pain for the most part, and my appetite. Those are the two big concerns I have. I'll talk a little bit more about the pain thing in a minute, but my appetite still sucks. Um, so that's the primary reason that I even want to get involved in it. But they say that between the two, not CBD and THC, but um, there's sativa and I can't remember the other one, but usually a hybrid of those two have the most effective side effects of both types. So one type might be good for pain relief, the other one might be good for loss of appetite. If you do a hybrid of those two, you get the benefits of those two, of both of them, but not necessarily really high from the sativa one. Does that make sense? I don't think I'm explaining that right. I'm not an expert on it yet, but I'm probably confusing you guys. But it's not very cut and dry. It's scientific stuff. It literally is. But it's marketed like it's. Some of the names of this stuff is like strawberry push, OG crush, um, purple berry. Just like it's like literally some dudes in his basement growing pot and saying, "Oh man, this is like imagine Cheech and Chong naming a drug." Literally that's what this stuff is. It's crazy, man. Uh, Not enough marijuana for now. My right ear it felt different actually a little bit. Let me see, 3 4 days ago, it actually felt like I had a little bit of a pop, like it was gonna clear up. It only lasted like a second. I was like, hey, wow, what was that? Um, and then it went away. And so now I finished up all my medicine, all the amoxicillin, and I'm just waiting to see if it's gonna fix this ear. Right now, I don't feel any different, so we'll see. Um, Thursday the 18th, I was sitting there. I felt like, man, my chest feels pretty good. So I took a breath, and I realized I could take a deep breath, like all the way, like fully expand my lungs. That's the first time I've been able to do that in some time. I did that on Thursday, and I did it on Friday as well. But oddly enough, last night, man, I had I woke up at midnight in severe pain. I was I was hurting. I was hurting unit. Um, and it was kind of like right here, like literally about maybe an inch down from this nipple and over about 2.5 inches is pain. I could only suck in about maybe an eighth, maybe a quarter of a lungful of air. That was it. And I get this sharp stabbing pain, like when you get gas pains. I don't know if you guys have that, like that. Um, that woke me up out of a dead sleep. I woke up like, oh, what the heck? And then I took some pain meds. I was able to fall back asleep. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, same exact thing. I woke up and I thought I was heading to the hospital, but luckily, by 6 o'clock when I got up, I was feeling better. So, but it was a close call. It wasn't pleasant at all. I don't know what that was all about. Lastly, and certainly not least, I want to give a shout out to my new subs. Thanks, welcome to the channel, guys. And I want to kind of talk about a YouTuber that I came across. His name is Mark Carriker. And Mark, so back when I was first diagnosed, and around the time that I did my first video, I started researching, YouTube for videos on cancer. And I came across Mark's channel called Homemade Everything. And it was more of like a channel. Well, Mark was diagnosed with cancer, but before that, he did stuff like he fixed vehicles, worked on engines, did some stuff with pow stuff like that. Kind of guy stuff. But then he got cancer. But what kind of drew me to him, he had like a super infectious smile. He had a great sense of humor. He had a quick wit. And it was just, kind of cool watching his videos. I didn't realize it, but at the same time, his brother has a channel, and you might have heard of it, Off the Ranch and Demo Ranch. That guy Matt, that who owns those two channels, that's Mark's brother, and also his dad Dr. Lee, who's a veterinarian. He has his own channel called On the Ranch. But I didn't know, but I was watching Matt's videos as well as watching Mark's videos. But back to Mark, he had a rare cancer in his right nasal passage, and it was like he was only one of 40 people that were actually had documented cases of this strain of cancer. And his symptoms started around mid 2018, and he was fortunate enough to be treated at MD Anderson down there in Texas. Excuse me. Which is a renowned hospital for cancer treatment. So he was lucky enough to go there. So I was following him, especially before each step of my treatment. Before I started chemo, I would go back, watch Mark's videos, try and glean some information from him, so I would kind of know what to expect before I went in for my procedures. So that was cool, and I'm thankful for that. And the same thing for radiation, same thing for surgery. And around the time that I found his channel, which was like August-ish of 2019, he started on a trial, a non-FDA approved trial with a drug called CODY-2. And in December, he announced that it wasn't working, and pretty much the next trial drug they're gonna expose him to was basically designed to go after the same two proteins that CODY-2 did. And so sadly enough, Mark decided to stop treatment, and he was gonna use the bit of good health that he had and the time left that he had with his family, with his wife and two kids. So at that time too, this is around December of 19. When he announced he was stopping treatment, he believed he had about a year left. So I was like, great, a year left with your kids and stuff and your family is pretty good. He used to do videos like every couple of days, and then he just kind of dropped off the radar, and I feared the worst. And on 19 March 2020, Mark passed. So the 1 year anniversary for Mark's passing was 2 days ago, and so his wife Jackie later that week put out a video. It was called The Final Update, and as soon as I seen that post on YouTube, obviously I knew what happened. She was in tears in the thumbnail, and it's one of the most heart-wrenching videos I've ever watched, because I know how I felt. I never interacted with Mark. I didn't know him personally or anything, but I kind of felt like I did. Like he made you kind of feel that way, and so it was tough. And poor Jackie. God bless you, Jackie. If you ever end up seeing this, I'm so sorry. I miss him too. But anyways, that's I'm gonna wrap this one up this week on that sad note, guys. I'm sorry, but I had to give a shout out to Mark. So I hope I hope everybody has a great upcoming week, and you're safe and happy, and the warm weather hits you soon. All right. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye.